Hello, thanks for clicking on this video. So, here's my entire review on Mobius. Should you watch it? Yes. The end. The only other thing I can mention is the drama Mobius, that I'm kind of mad because Hai Xing told me that it was going to be released today. It was supposed to already be released today, according to Hai Xing. It said September 16th is supposed to be released. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited, really nervous, and really excited. Really nervous because I'm so sick and tired of all the dramas that I've had to drop lately for this stupid whatever. But the guy that plays in this one, speaking of dramas I had to drop, was Justifiable Defence, which I didn't do a video on. That one disgusted me so bad. I was so disgusted by that one, I had to drop it. But the only character that I liked in that one, never seen him play in anything else. Apparently he's the main character in Mobius. So I'm actually looking forward to that just because of that, but also because the story sounds really interesting. It has potential. Could go horribly wrong, could go really, really well. So I'm really interested to see it. But it lied because Hai Xing said September 16th. And then I go to my drama list last night. I went to my drama list to see how many more hours before it would be released. It's like September 17th is when for episode 1 is being released. I'm like, what? And then today I look and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not there yet. Apparently my drama list is right. And Hai Xing, the place it's getting released on, is wrong. How dare you? This drama, I have to admit, I ranked it as a rewatch value a little bit lower purely because of the stress it caused me. This drama is so good. This is exactly what hyperfocus for someone with ADHD looks like. That's what it looks like when we're hyperfocused. That's the result of hyperfocusing. And that also, by the way, is regularly what it looks like on inside of our head on a day-to-day basis. It's just all over the place. Just everything all at the same time. There's no slowing down. There is literally no slowing down. There were a few slow moments in this drama. This is the first drama I have ever watched where I'm tempted to say that it needed some slow moments because it didn't have any, and I was kind of out of breath by the end of this drama because the stress level was going up. Okay, the stress level went up. Once you got to the 5th loop, you were like holding your breath until it was done. I'm like, how many people are gonna die? What is going to happen? Oh, I can't breathe. Like, I felt like I was running a race, and you can't even really say a marathon because it took a little while, but it wasn't a marathon. It was like running a sprint that's not stopping. You're running as fast as you can possibly run for way longer than you should be running as fast as you can possibly run. It is such a high-stress drama. It is so good. That opening episode, just that opening episode, the fact that the opening names are halfway through the episode. It's fascinating, okay? Because the first half of the episode, they are going through what this is like. They're not explaining. They're just going through what this is like. Then you get the names, then it backs up and tells you how we got here. The whole thing was superbly done. It was so well done. There was a couple of scenes here and there. There was at least 2, actually in the ending episode, I think, where there was at least 2 scenes I can think of. One I'm picturing, the other one I can't remember at the moment what it was, but I'm positive there was at least 2 scenes that to me took a little longer than they should have. Stupid door! And there was a couple of scenes where I'm like, I don't feel like that was entirely necessary because I don't really see the point. What was the point of this? I don't get why that was such a thing that was so necessary for me to see it. And that's the thing. Basically everything in this drama, it did have a point. Everything that was in this drama was there for a reason. It needed to be there for a reason. And so these scenes that to me didn't quite make sense. Like there was one character that showed things and like not entirely sure what the point of that was. It had to have a point or I feel like it wouldn't be in this story because like everything had a point. So it had to have a point, but I don't really see what it was. I don't quite understand that. But it was interesting that it was in there. It was very interesting that it was in there. There's only one thing pretty much in this entire drama. Everything somehow played into it. You got to basically firsthand, rather than offhandedly hear about, you got to pretty much see firsthand, like everything, except one. There was one thing that was utilized, that was mentioned, and affected things multiple times over, and you never saw it firsthand. Who was that? It's the only thing that the author didn't utilize. So I'm like, interesting. Why did you not utilize that one? It's the only thing that never had an explanation. I mean, the other stuff, there was one other one that was... Oh, no, yeah. That other one you did actually. You did see what caused that. There's literally only one. There is only one that you don't see the cause of. That you aren't involved with. Up close and personal. Only one. Interesting. But yes, okay. The thing with Mobius is... I was a little afraid because, like, for one thing, it is the same case throughout the entire drama. And if you watched my other videos about detective cases and how they're working on one single case throughout the entire drama, you know how I feel about that. And this thing is 16 episodes long. One case. Well, 15 of them are on one case. Like I say, the first episode had nothing to do with the case. The first episode was the setup. What his life was like and why his life is like this. I'm telling you, right off the bat, if you know that someone has this power and this is what they decide to do with it, ultimately, that is a catch you don't want to let go. That is a friend you want if he's not the one that you want as your boyfriend or your husband. Like, that kind of character. Instant love here, okay? Where was I? Yes. 15 episodes for one case. And it's also one of those ones where, like, the whole setup of it, okay, I had to look up what Mobius is, because I saw that and I'm like, what is a Mobius? Why is this drama called Mobius? What is a Mobius? So I looked it up, and the explanation for what a Mobius is made zero sense to me. I could not picture, I could not fathom, I could not even remotely understand what on earth it was talking about. Then I saw a picture. I'm like, oh, that. Okay, that has a name. It's called a Mobius. Okay. And yes, you see it multiple times throughout this drama because the one building is shaped like that. The one part of the one building is shaped like that. But it's because he goes through the same day 5 times over. I'm like, okay, how are they going to do this story without being insanely repetitious about it? And I've seen other ones do basically kind of the same thing, where it's like you repeat stuff, and I'm like, okay, they did a good job, but at the same time, there were things they took too long on scenes, or something. This one didn't. There was maybe 1 or 2 times where I feel like, okay, you were reminding me where we are, because you have to go back and repeat certain things so that we know there's an anchor point. Where are we in the day? You have to keep reminding me what's happening at certain times during the day. That is necessary with a story this confusing, okay? This drama was so busy. It was so busy. There was constant action, but it did a superb job at keeping you anchored on where you were in the story. Like, it constantly reminded you where you were. There was only a couple of times where I'm like, okay, his stupid speech. The first time it showed his speech, okay, the second or third time, whenever it was that it showed you, I was like, okay, there was more to his speech. I just didn't hear it. Because the first time you hear his speech, I'm like, this is pathetic. He didn't say anything. He just made a couple of jokes and wrapped things up. And everybody's clapping like he's so smart and stuff. I'm like, you didn't even say anything. This is such a dumb speech. Then later on, I guess, okay, there must have been more to it that the first time around I didn't hear. Well, there you go. It's repeating the same day, but it's not. It's incredible how it does not repeat the same day. Like, it messes things up. It goes from every different other angle you can think of. Like, it was so well done. So well done. And, okay, so there's 2 things about it that I want to kind of talk about, because I just recently was talking about them in other videos and all of this kind of stuff. And this stuff I've brought up before. And, like, how are you all going to understand what I'm talking about if I don't have examples? And often I'm trying to think of examples and I can't think of examples. This one has 2 examples that I can show you. The first of all is what I was just recently talking about how much I complain about the payoff. Where is the payoff in this stupid romance? Mobius is not a romance drama, like, at all. And therefore, if it was a drama where the romance was supposed to be a thing, like it was supposed to be a romance drama, if this is how it had ended, this payoff was how it ended, I would have been mad. That's not a payoff. It's terrible. But because this one is not a romance, what happens with the characters, and now I'm hesitating to say because I don't want to spoil anything, there's a couple of characters that increasingly throughout the drama, as the drama's going, you can tell they really like each other. Like, really, really like each other. Like, really, really, really like each other. And like the first time these two characters kiss, oh my gosh, that scene! And then it's hilarious later on. Joking about her taking the initiative, and she's like, no, I didn't, no way. And he's like, yes way, yes you did. And I'm like, okay, there was a specific reason why she took initiative. What was happening in the middle of her? I would have too, because otherwise I would have been freaking out. Distraction. A good distraction. Anyway, that's confusing because I don't want to give spoilers, because this drama is incredible and you need to just see it as is. You don't want spoilers. Yeah. It's possible, potential, that once you do know the exact truth about everything, it might lose just a tiny bit of its rewatch value. Because there are some stories, unfortunately, yeah, half of the adrenaline rush is not quite having the answer yet and figuring the answer out. And once you have the answer, it isn't quite as epic the second time through. But at the same time, I don't think that's the case. There's a little bit of it. A little bit of it. Okay, but the payoff. The payoff in this one, I think, was just about right, considering it's not a romance drama. But you got what you got in it, and I think that was a pretty good payoff. There's also the ending. There was one of those things about the ending where it's like, it's an ending, but it's not an ending. And usually I hate it when dramas do that. I hate open endings where it's like it's over, but it's not over. I absolutely hate that. So in this one, like, instantly I was like, oh. But at the same time, there was something about it that wasn't as bad as usual. Just the knee-jerk, didn't last quite as long as usual, and it doesn't bother me quite as much as they usually do. Maybe because, could be a spoiler, but this is actually a third thing I can mention where I was talking about they always pick one or the other, where you get the job or the relationship. Okay, I'll stop there. Watch the drama. Watch all the way to the end of the drama. But the other thing that I was going to mention that this one does a good job of, the baggage that you carry over when it's an actor, and what was the previous character that you saw them play, and what are your opinions of the current character purely because of the actor or actress that you're looking at right now. This one had some of that. It definitely, I was on a high during the first episode, and part of the high had nothing to do with the character on screen. I don't know the character on screen. Within the first little bit there, I didn't know him yet. It did not take me very long at all before, like, Ding Qi, I absolutely adore this guy. Ding Qi is epic. There were so many times he made me roll around on the floor with his reaction. He's just so chill about it. It's just like... Oh my gosh, that was way funnier. I don't think it was supposed to be as funny as I found it. I was rolling on the floor laughing. That was so funny. I love Ding Qi. But when I first started the episode, I didn't even know Ding Qi. I can't love Ding Qi when I don't know Ding Qi. The problem is the actor by Jing Ting. I've only ever seen him in one other thing. It was Justifiable Defence. I dropped that drama once the main character in Justifiable Defence said with his own mouth what he did and why he did it all those years ago, and why he still won't change his mind, even though with his own mouth he pretty much admits, I'm wrong, but I'm not changing my mind because I couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, I cannot do this. When I'm looking at the cases, especially just take, I don't remember his name, but by Jing Ting's character, the case that happened with him and the case that happened with the main character, when you just compare those two, Jing Ting's character, to me, that's Justifiable Defense. Like, they're like, all of the reasons, like literally everything they're bringing up, just about every single one of the things they were bringing up, it's ridiculous No, it was Justifiable Defense. As far as I can see of everything that I'm understanding of his character and the whole circumstance and everything of the way it was happened, that was Justifiable Defense. And yet it's the... Yes, this is all spoilers. It's the only thing within that drama that's not labeled as Justifiable Defense. And like I say, the main character explained why he's not living it as Justifiable Defense. And I'm like, you need to get your license revoked right now. If that is what's making you decide this instead of this, that's not justice. That's self-centered, disgusting. That is not the way you use the law. That is terrible. You need your license revoked right now. And then the main character guy, as far as I'm concerned, his whole case, I skipped forward to see. That was my confirmation. Who else gets Justifiable Defense? Yeah, Jing Ting's character is the only one that didn't. The other two cases both get justifiable defense. In the main character's case, I'm comparing the two, and like, if anybody should not have gotten justifiable defense, it's the main character. From the circumstances that I could see. Even taking, like, I mean, the guy he was up against and how everything went down and stuff, I'm like, that's the one case for definitively, in my books, definitively should not have gotten justifiable defense. These two characters should have been switched on the result of their case, in my opinion. They should have been switched. And the fact they weren't made me so mad. And the reasons why they weren't as well. Jing Ting's character was so horribly done by in Justifiable Defense. He was so wronged. Twice over. So wronged. It made me so mad. And because of that horrible feeling and everything that happened with his character there, when I started Mobius and his character walks on screen and he is winning everything, I was like, yes! Justice for this guy! And then I'm like, it's not the same guy though. It's not the same guy. And yet that is what I felt. Okay, I know I take this to an extreme. I know not everybody is like this. Some people, you watch different stories and there's no connection. Other people, I think there is more of a connection than you're admitting. It's just subconscious. You don't realize it, but it is there. For a lot of us, I think there is a subconscious thing that we don't even realize necessarily is there. And then there's me. I know I'm a little bit of a special case, but I'm not the only one that's like this. Like, it's so through the roof. There's been other characters, you know, like characters that died in a drama and then they walk on screen in another one, and the sense of relief and joy that I have, they're alive, they're safe, they're good. And I'm like, but it's not the same person. Yes, it's the actor, but nothing happened to the actor. It's the character that died, and this is not the same character. So yeah, the injustice that happened to that face in Justifiable Defense is not the same character, and yet I'm watching going, yes, justice, he's winning, he's got it this time, and I'm like... So, there's an example of that, by the way, but that has nothing to do with the actual drama, Mobius, which I already went over. I can't really go more over. I was hoping I'd keep it short in this. I can't believe I managed to talk that long. Anyway, Mobius. Should you watch it? Yes. You should watch it. It is amazing the way that story put together. Like, my jaw is on the floor. How did the people keep this straight? How did they manage to do that? Like I said, this is what hyperfocus looks like. That right there is a good example of exactly what hyperfocus looks like. Whoever wrote the story and whoever edited the story. Wow. So yeah, let me know what you think. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back and let me know what you think. Bye.